to get it to go. There it goes. Should be working now. Type in chat, let us know.
Sorry guys.
I just pushed the R22 over here. I'm telling you, I'm gonna announce a special smoking hot deal here before we get done. When we give away the instrument pilot, I will let you know of El Cheapo smoking hot deal. We wanna get this thing flying. It's been sitting, and we got some stuff toward the end of January, but nothing until this thing needs to fly. So we're gonna make a smoking hot deal. So the first question we're gonna answer, a gentleman who wanted to be in chat today, couldn't make it, he emailed me a question. I'm a 4,000 hour fixed wing commercial jet pilot, completing your private course now for a private add-on rating, excuse me, and check right in late January. See, everybody's talking about late January. The examiner suggested I should do a commercial add-on. What additional would that include for the oral portion of the check ride? Okay, so you'll need to switch your HOGS membership over to the commercial, which you can do for free. There's no charge to switch to that. And you need to go through the private material, and you need to go through the commercial ACS. Because the biggest difference between doing the private add-on or commercial add-on is your level of knowledge, and then commercial pilot privileges and limitations. And what's going to happen is on the private, or on your, if you go do the commercial add-on, you're going to have to be to a higher level of knowledge. So if you've been training to private level, everything in the commercials, it's basically all the same stuff, basically all the same maneuvers, basically all the same knowledge, but it's knowing it to a higher level, being more precise in the flying and being more precise on your answers. So if you've been, for this gentleman, if you've been going through our private, you need to go through the, I would go through the private to refresh all the knowledge. And since you're a fixed wing pilot, you still need all that helicopter knowledge, and you need to refresh your VFR knowledge. Even though you got 4,000 hours, a lot of the times guys have let their VFR skills kind of go out the window. And I see you're a jet pilot, so you probably do a lot of IFR flying. So switch and start using the commercial ACS to make sure you're covering everything. Switch over to HOGS commercial and know that you're gonna be held to a higher tolerance on the commercial questions, and then the questions are gonna be, privilege and limitations are gonna be different. What can you do as a commercial pilot? What's legal, what's not? Also, on this topic, I like to point out, we have a lot of people that talk about doing commercial add-on, just like this gentleman who asked the question, and what happens before they end up doing the commercial add-on, they decide to go ahead and get the private add-on. When I read them, 61,129. So you have to have, this guy will be covered because he's got 4,000 hours, but you have to have 150 hours of flight time as a pilot. He's got that. 100 hours of powered flight, of which 50 must be in helicopters. So you gotta have 50 total in helicopters. And then here's the kicker, 100 hours of pilot and command flight time, which includes at least 35 hours in helicopters. For the private add-on, it's only 10. For the commercial add-on, it's 35. And you may already know this, the person that sent the email in, but this is good general knowledge for anybody watching the video interested in a commercial add-on. Most people go, wow, so I have to solo for 35 hours. I'm a rated pilot, but I have to fly around by myself for 35 hours. I can't take friends or family. I can't just go do fun stuff other than just flying by myself. I don't want to do that. So people will almost always go ahead and do the private add-on and then get their 35 PIC, then take the commercial. So thanks for the question. Do it how you want to do it. That's your choice, but almost nobody actually does the commercial add-on when they find out they got to do 35 PIC. If that's not a problem for you, then switch to the commercial ACS, switch over to the HOGS commercial, still go through the private material, because in the commercial section we're digging in more on technique and to becoming smooth and solid for your commercial flying. So do us a favor, subscribe and like our channel, please. It helps us out a lot if you give us a subscribe and give us a like. Tomorrow we're gonna do a CFI giveaway. So before, let's see, I already answered my question. I was gonna wait on that question. Type in, do you have any questions yet, Lindsay?
Just a personal one from Tommy. He's asking helmet or no helmet?
Aha, I'll answer that question as soon as I pimp our clone. Down below, we have a link for AskHOGS.com. You can talk to my clone 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And at first it was kind of creepy, but now that we've been using it for a while, it's really cool because 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can ask a question to my clone. It has 14 years of my content, blogs, podcasts, videos, free content. Everything I've done electronically, digitally in 14 years is piped into my clone. And it's free. It's also inside our site on all of our videos so that you can get immediate assistance while you're going through the courses, but it's free to you and anybody. So that link is below for AskHOGS.com. And also, passive income, there's a link down below, hogspaysme.com. We have an affiliate program. We pay you 50%. For example, a person signs up for a monthly membership, $97 a month, you get 50% of that for as long as they keep the course. If somebody buys our Pro Pilot for $2,800, you get $1,400. So that link is below, hogspaysme.com, and you'll have your own access to the site to see your dashboard, and you'll know exactly who uses your link to sign up for HOGS, and we pay you 50%. Once a month we pay after they go past the 30-day refund date. So passive income. All right, so we'll answer his question, and that's not really a personal question.
Right.
Well, it could be, but so we'll go ahead and declare that question as the winner. So you get, for asking the question, because the helmet's a good question. That is a flight or ground training question. We're going to send you a copy of Private Pilot 101 Helicopter Training Blueprint. You can get this free right now at a PDF link below. So anybody that wants this, you can get it free right now. Go below, privateblueprint.com. And for the winner of that, not winner, just because you asked the flight or ground training question, that's what we're doing each day and every day until New Year's Day. We're asking questions, and the first person that asks a question when we go live, we send them a book. So stick around, and we're going to do the instrument pilot giveaway in just a bit after we answer questions. So helmet or no helmet? I've done this video a couple times over the years, and I even was talking with one of the FAA guys about this. My opinion isn't necessarily what you might want to do. When you talk helmet or no helmet, I'll flat out tell you, any reasonable person could say a helmet's going to be safer, right? That protecting your head, having a visor in case something comes through the windshield, there are probably more reasons to choose a helmet versus just using standard headsets. Hands down, I can't argue that point. Now, my opinion, because I wore a helmet, I wore a helmet for 5 years when I flew EMS, and I hated it. You know, you spend all your time building up over the years flying with headsets, then all of a sudden you wear a helmet. Again, I understand the safety, I understand why it's the smartest choice. However, once I left EMS, I haven't flown a helmet since. I want to get in the helicopter, I want to be comfortable, I want to just throw a set of headsets on, and I want to just, you know, I feel more natural and like I'm feeling the world around me, and the helmet's just bulky and it's hot. And so me personally, I don't wear one. Do I think it's wise? Probably. It's probably the smartest thing you could do. So I've never been accused of being the smartest guy on the block. So that's my opinion on helmets. I'm sure they're safer, tons of reasons to wear one. I just choose not to. My favorite thing to do is summertime flying in a helicopter, doors off, pair of shorts, t-shirt, headsets, pair of tennis shoes, and go have fun.
You're very casual flying.
Very casual. And the FAA guy I was talking to, he's like, well, you know, you'll be sorry when you crash someday. I'm like, well, hopefully I don't crash, number one. And number two, I did get ejected from a helicopter in 2005 from a ground resonance incident. Luckily, I didn't have a head injury, had a back injury, but it's my choice, you know. And if I was flying in a more of a commercial, everyday, heavy duty, more dangerous type of stuff, maybe. But, and of course, anything we do could be dangerous. Any of us could have a wreck at any time. Even you could be slow and careful and methodical, and you could have an aircraft malfunction like we did in the aircraft that I was in that exploded and blew itself apart. Anything could happen to any of us at any time. None of us are so good that an accident just can't happen. But I also do my best to be slow, smooth, methodical, try to fly the best equipment, don't fly with anything that's broken, Don't go out and do macho stuff, and don't go out and do watch this kind of thing, hold my beer type of thing, right? We don't do it. So there's that. Any other questions?
I do. I have quite a few coming in.
Nice.
This next one is from John Pollard, and he is asking, is it better to train in the R22, R44, or the Cabri?
Great question. And we covered this yesterday, and I'll answer it again because this question is going to be there till the end of time. And I like quoting, it's not really a quote. A few years ago, we talked to Tim Tucker at Heli Expo. And we went around and we were talking to Schweitzer, and we were talking to Robinson and the Enstrom and the different manufacturers and saying, why should they fly your helicopter over the others? Which one's best? And Tim Tucker told a story, and he said, you know what? And if you don't know who Tim Tucker is, most people do, but he's big with Robinson Helicopter, has been for many years. And he was chief pilot for a long, long time. He said, you know what? I don't think it makes a difference which helicopter you fly. And he talks about how they did a study in the military when he was in the military, and they took tall guys, short guys, big helicopters, little helicopters, and they did a study for over like 5 years. And at the end of that 5 years, they did an evaluation of, did the person in the larger helicopter, the turbine, or the smaller piston, they decided that it made no relevance on what the person was flying, on how well their training turned out. And he said it's more important to have a good aircraft, well-maintained aircraft, quality instructor, quality flight school. That is way more important than which helicopter you fly. And he shocked a lot of us when he said that. And I kind of go along with that, right? I've taught in the R22, the R44, Enstrom, Schweitzers, Jet Ranger, EMS, I flew BK-117, EC-135, I've flown Bell 47. I've only had one chance to fly an R66. And I would say now it's personal preference. I think you pick what helicopter's right for you. Which one do you feel the most comfortable in? Which one works best for your budget? I agree. You know, I might pick, if I have two choices, and one is the helicopter I really deep down want to fly, and over here is a helicopter that's not the one that's deep down what I want to fly, but this school and instructors have better maintenance, better reputation, better quality of instruction, I'm going to pick that one every single time. I'm going to pick that one every time. So again, I think maintenance, proper maintenance, done right, everything aircraft needs, gets it on time, and we even believe in what I've just been calling lately progressive maintenance. We like to have a mechanic come in even when there's nothing wrong with the helicopter. Just come in, spend a little time with it, look it over, see if you can find anything that the average everyday pilot's not going to see. And I think that's a big help in staying ahead of the game. And the example I use, if they find a tail rotor pitch link maybe getting a little bit loose, still within tolerance, but they know it's wearing out, you can call up Robinson, get that pitch link, have it on the shelf, and then when that part finally exceeds the tolerance, boom, it's on the shelf, ready to go. You change it out and you're back in business. You're not left with, oh man, we just found on the inspection, you need this part. Now we got to order it. We got to wait for it to show up, et cetera, et cetera. So I think quality of training and quality of maintenance, number one over which aircraft you pick. I literally like the R44 would be my number one choice personally.
Is it? Is it really?
It is. I just all around, I think the R44 is, I'll wrap this up. The R44 is good for training. It's good for commercial stuff. It's good to take up friends and family because it seats 4. The R22 doesn't have that. The Cabri doesn't have that. For that reason is why I would hands down, pick the R44.
Okay. Next question comes from Truffy Trey. When are you going to make something like HOGS in the European Union Aviation Safety Agency?
Wow, that's a great question. You know, we get questions like that a lot, like, hey, when are you going to do something for, you know, Canadian or... I don't know that that's going to happen. I would love to say that we will or we could, but as of now, we're a 3-piece operation. There's 3 of us that work at HOGS. And so it takes all of our time, and that's with the addition of bringing other instructors in to help us do the flying. To build a whole nother course and spend the time to go through the differences between regulations between countries, that'd be a pretty big undertaking. And I would love to do it, but our staff just isn't big enough. I just don't see You know, if things would grow and we could take on more people, possibly, but at this point, with over 650 videos in 4 courses, thousands of members, and the video production we do and the flying, it's really not feasible. And maybe at some point in the future we'll have a different answer for you, but as of now, no. I just don't think it's going to happen. While you prepare your next question, right now we have 40% off with Santa 40. We have 40% off private, commercial, instrument, CFI, and then our professional pilot that combines all of those for a lifetime. Never expires. All across the board, all memberships right now, 40% off with code SANTA40. So just go below helicopterground.com. You go to the homepage, pick the membership you're interested in, check it out, and enter the code SANTA40 for 40% off. All right, next question.
Next question. Sorry, I had to take my eyes off the chat. I have to
Well, while you're getting your question.
Got it.
Okay, go ahead.
What are your thoughts on the Enstrom FX280?
The Enstrom is a freaking wonderful aircraft. I flew Enstroms for years. I have more time in Enstrom than I do any other aircraft on the planet. I just spent a lot of time in my career, in the early part of my career, flying Enstroms. It's a great helicopter. It's a bigger helicopter than like the R-22. It's super safe with that big heavy-duty rotor system. The helicopter that I was in 2005 that we got ejected from was the Enstrom Turbine 480. And that was a mechanical malfunction because they switched from hydraulic dampener over to elastomeric dampener. We were one of the first ones in the world to be flying it. The dampener failed and the helicopter blew itself apart. That's the only reason that aircraft came apart. They are super durable aircraft and I think they're great. I like the 280, I like the F-28F, I like the 480 Turbine. All great aircraft. I've taught in all those. I've flown all of them. I've flown all the makes and models of Enstrom. Great helicopter. Why do I not operate them here? Because at this point, the R-44 and the R-22 to me are a little less labor intensive as far as maintenance goes. They're a little cheaper on the maintenance, and being they're the most popular civil training helicopter in the world, it's what the majority of our members are flying. Robinson R-22, R-44. So, and these were made available to me. The Enstrom, you know, I flew one for a long time, but that was a buddy of mine owned it. And for about 5 years, through the winter months, he'd let me have it and use it for training because he's a fair weather flyer. He only liked flying in the summer. And we had a kind of a soft lease that I used that one. And at a certain point, he decided his kids were going to college and he needed to let the aircraft go to, put the money back in the bank. That's the only reason I don't use an Enstrom. I'd love to have one. If somebody wants to buy one and let us use it, we'd have one sitting here. But for me to go out and own one, I owned one for 4 years, and that's how I know the direct difference of cost. And the one that I owned for 4 years basically bankrupted me. I never filed bankruptcy. I just operated until I had nothing left and then had to sell it and start rebuilding my life 14 years ago because the Enstrom was expensive.
Ouch. These next couple of questions have been answered in chat, so if you would like to answer them yourself, here they are. So this is coming from Noderick, and he's asking for his medvac. Should he get his fixed wing first and then have the company pay for rotary?
You'll never get hired. I don't know if you're, I don't know if you're in the US or another country. I can't speak for other countries, but I flew EMS for 5 years. And when you go to apply for an EMS job, at this time, normally they want 2,000 hours, and normally they want either all helicopter or they want 1,500 helicopter, maybe 1,500 helicopter. You could use maybe 500 fixed wing, but getting your jobs in the helicopter industry and specifically the EMS, it's all about the helicopter time. So getting the fixed wing and then doing your helicopter to me just doesn't really make any sense. There really isn't any reason for that, especially going the EMS route. If you're going to do fixed wing before helicopter, you got to have 40 hours minimum in the airplane, and then you're going to have to take a check ride, and you're gonna pay for all that. Then you gotta go get 30 more hours in the helicopter, so you gotta do 20 more dual, 10 solo, pay for another check ride just to get to your private in the airplane or the helicopter. So when people say, oh, get your fixed wing first, I don't really understand why they tell you that. I don't think financially it helps. And when you go to get your first helicopter job, majority of the time they don't care about the fixed wing time. They wanna know how much time do you have in a helicopter.
And next question is somebody is going through with their private at the moment, but they want to know if IFR rating is required for their commercial license.
It's not in helicopters. In helicopters, you can do your private, and then you can go ahead and start working on your commercial time. However, if you think that you want the instrument training, hands down, do it between private and commercial. Because for the commercial, you're gonna need 150 hours total. And you're gonna have to have like 100 PIC. I'm lost in the middle of my question. Oh, okay. So you gotta build a bunch of PIC time for the commercial. So if you start working on your instrument, get your private, start working on your instrument, you're paying for the helicopter to get pilot and command time, and you gotta pay a little extra for dual on your instrument training, but you're working toward the instrument training while you're building your pilot and command time to work for commercial. So it just makes 100% hands down, if you think you're remotely interested in the instrument rating, do it between private and commercial. Super, super smart.
Well, that leads us into Nick Good's question from earlier. He wants to know, what does our instrument course entail?
What does our instrument course entail? It's a full-blown course to help you prepare for the instrument rating. All of our courses are full-blown courses to help get through the ratings. Each course has quizzes at the end of each lesson. Basically the way the courses are laid out, each course is laid out in lessons. So you'll have like say 10 lessons in the course or 12 lessons depending on which course you go to, or 18 lessons I think like in the private. Each lesson will have a series of videos. You go through those videos and at the end of that there is a quiz for all of those lessons from all the way through the course. And then at the end of the course, we have FAA written test practice. You can take the FAA written test practice as many times as needed, and it's also available for wings credit. So when you take that, if you want to get wings credit for it, it automatically reports to the FAA and you'll be able to get wings credit for that FAA written test. So it'll help you prepare for the oral portion and help you prepare for the written test, for the instrument rating.
Are we going to Verticon next year?
You know, I just walked in the door today, a little bit ago, to warm this place up. I'm like, well, I guess I should start thinking about, I guess you can't call it Heli Expo anymore. Every year I say the same thing. Usually I'm like, I don't know if I'm going. I don't know if I want to spend the money. And I just thought that getting out of the Jeep, coming inside, that I need to make a decision about whether we're going to go or not. Probably, but depends on what's going on here at the time. I haven't made a decision.
Well, you never know. You might go.
I'll mention free PDF down below for the book that we gave away already today. So go get this down below if you need it. If you got any more questions, ask them. Are there any more coming up?
Yes.
Yeah, more questions?
Just one more from Paul. Are turbine or piston helicopters safer? He likes to ask the hard ones, doesn't he?
He does. I mean, you know what? I'm sure a lot of people are going to automatically say turbines are safer, but I suppose you could say that in general they are. However, would I take a piston aircraft, well maintained, everything maintained to a T, in perfect mechanical order, or would I jump in a turbine aircraft that maybe it's a little dicey on the maintenance, history's a little bit unsure? I'm gonna pick the piston. I think helicopters in general are safe. If you maintain them correctly, you do the proper maintenance, and you do what we're taught from day one, most helicopters, I don't think you're ever gonna have a problem. So a blanket statement of which one's safe, well, let's use the example of the Bell Jet Ranger that held the record for many, many, many years on the safest aircraft ever built. So In general, would a turbine be safer? Probably. They're easier to start, they're easier to fly, they have more power. The only reason the requirements are so high is because they're more expensive to fix. So I guess, in general, you'd want to say turbine.
Okay, I would like to go back to Robert E. Hammer. He was the one that asked if you were going to Verticon.
Okay.
And said that he would like to see you on your annual pilgrimage from Bob and Sharon.
Oh, we always see Bob when we're there, Bob and Sharon.
Okay.
Is that who we're talking to?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, stay tuned, because we'll probably end up there. So probably. It's Dallas. I like to drag my feet and,
Go last minute.
I'm a cheapskate and I don't want to spend the money. And if we all go, then it's a whole bunch of motel rooms and plane tickets and...
Where is it at this year?
Dallas.
Oh. Why did I think that was last year?
Last year was California.
Yeah.
It was LA.
We have some...
All right. Well, we'll do a recap and then we're going to give away. I have a question come up and if you just want to ask some more questions, go ahead. Recap. Santa 40. Go below, click helicopterground.com. Santa 40, 40% off private commercial instrument CFI or Pro Pilot. AskHOGS.com. Down below is the link for our clone, my clone. Sounds like me, talks like me, less cuss words, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's pretty fascinating, and we continue to load content in it, so over time it just keeps getting smarter and smarter and smarter. Pretty amazing. Don't forget the free PDF for Private Pilot 101. We'll be back tomorrow to give another one. Tomorrow we're giving away Certified Flight Instructor. And then don't forget Passive Income with HOGS Pays Me. That link is down below as well. So if you'd like to make some extra income for just signing up and having your own link that you share, particularly flight instructors, we know you're eating ramen noodles. We know you're driving a piece of shit. We know you don't have any money half the time. That's the nature of a new instructor. You don't have any money. Sign your students up for HOGS, and once a month you're going to get a payment through PayPal. You have to have PayPal in order for this system to work. But every 30 days you're going to get money pumped into your PayPal. And if you got a lot of students, that can be a nice little extra amount of money that you might be able to use to make a car payment or make a rent payment or more. So we'll put that down below. All right, so for the giveaway, Instrument Pilot, we made you wait long enough. I'm going to read right from the 2024 FAR AIM. Yes, I need to order a 2025. Yes, I do use FAR AIM on my electronic gadgets, but I still prefer a book because I'm old and I'm old school. So this is pertaining to getting the helicopter rating. This is pretty easy, but you got to give the right answer. So for a helicopter rating, you have to have 150 hours of flight time as pilot of command, at least 100 hours in powered flight. Oh, you know what? We already did that. Where's the mark for what I was going to do? Oh, I got to go back to 7. I got to go to a different page. Sorry. Disregard page 76. Here it is. Scratch that, all right? For an instrument rating, I was on commercial. For an instrument rating helicopter, you need 3 hours of instrument flight training from an authorized instructor in a helicopter that is appropriate to the instrument helicopter rating. And I'm getting ready to ask you the question. Please spell legibly, use proper spelling to win. Spelling, use proper spelling. Is appropriate to the instrument helicopter rating within blank, blank, blank before the date of the practical test. So what is the time frame as stated in the FAR AIM that you have to have that 3 hours of dual instruction? And this is the same as any check ride, so it's not really instrument specific. Lindsay knows the answer.
Same winner from yesterday.
Same winner? Are you serious?
Should I go on to the next one? Because so far nobody else has gotten it.
I should have put a claim. Not quite fair for the same guy to win 2 days in a row. I didn't put the disclaimer out there. You know what? You've already got the commercial. If you really want the instrument, we can tack it on your free membership you already have. Let's give somebody else a chance.
Okay. If it's going to go on to somebody else, then, uh-oh, somebody retracted a message. I'm gonna have to give it to Noderick. He also put 2 calendar months.
Okay. Noderick it is. So winner number 1, don't worry. We'll just tack Instrument on to the one that we gave you yesterday. I'd prefer you, if you win something big like that, I prefer you not come back and try to play and try to beat other people out of a free membership like that. So it's like a $700 value. So, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow we're going to do certified flight instructor. And if you got something you want me to answer tomorrow and you can't make it live, do what this gentleman did. Email me, Kenny@helicopterground.com. Send me a message. Oh yeah, and I told you about a discount on the training. Here's what we're doing. We have a special right now that we've already been talking about. This is limited time, it's gonna end soon. 50% off our daily rate. 50%, and we do the daily rate because when we do specialized training for people, 50% off instructor rate. And because this thing needs to fly some, we have people looking at the end of January. I want to get somebody in the first part or middle part of January and get some hours on this thing. The owner told me last night, he said, hey, let's knock down the price just a little bit and try to get some flying, get that thing flying so it at least charges up the batteries, get a few hours on it. So we're going to reduce the $350 down to $295. This for a 5-hour block. You could do a SFAR or you could put it towards a check ride if you want. $295 for a 5-hour block, but you gotta act fast and you gotta use it before the 20th. This isn't good for February, March, April, May, June. This is somebody needs to do some flying like immediately. They wanna get an SFAR done. They wanna get a CFI done. Something along that lines. Reach out to me direct, Kenny@helicopterground.com, because Heather doesn't know about that. She's not here. So since I just made that special, you'll need to email me direct about putting together a special El Cheapo package just to get this thing in the air, lubricate up the pieces and parts, and get it flying. All right, do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and that way you'll be notified of the video tomorrow. So come back tomorrow for a giveaway for a 1-year membership, 12 months of certified flight instructor. See you then. Peace out.